I've always said one of the best ways you can learn piano is just by learning songs. That's how I started, and it's how I teach people because I think it's so much more fun when you're playing songs you are familiar with and other people are familiar with because they hear you and they're like, dang, that's pretty good. So today I'm going to share with you guys 3 songs that are super easy to play for beginners and super easy to start learning. So let's get into it. All right, so the first song we're going to be learning is called Stay by Rihanna, and it sounds a little bit like this. All right, if it looks complicated, don't worry. I'm gonna make it as easy as possible. So the first thing we wanna look for is where the C is on the piano. Now, if you're not sure how to read a piano, I'll make a video on that later, but it's gonna be the note right here. You're gonna find the 2 black notes anywhere on the piano. I would say preferably to the middle of the piano so it sounds like mine. And you're gonna go to the one to the bottom left of the 2 black notes. That is a C, and that is gonna be a C everywhere you go on the piano. 2 black notes, one to the bottom left is a C. You're gonna put your thumb on this note right here, skip a white note and put your middle finger on that one. Skip another white note and put your middle finger or your pinky on that one. And it should make a nice sound like that. That is called a C chord. Now, for this song, you're gonna hit this one 3 times. Just like that. So you can just practice doing that over and over again and make sure to take your hand off and put it back just so you remember how that chord feels and where that C note is. All right? So what we're gonna do from here is keep the same hand formation, and all we're gonna do is slide it over 1 note to the right. And then we're gonna be playing a D minor chord. So same formation, all we did was take all of our fingers, we didn't lift them off the piano, we just moved right over to the right. And we played a D minor chord. We're gonna hit that chord just 1 time. So far, this is where we're at. Great, hope you're still with me. Awesome. So, hardest part of the whole thing, the big jump to the A minor chord. So all we're gonna do is keep the same hand formation. You don't even need to lift your hand off the piano. Slide it over to the left, to this note right here. You want your thumb on this is called an A. And to find the A, you're gonna find the 3 black notes, and it's the one to the bottom right of the middle one. You're gonna put your thumb on this note, and then the same formation as before. Skip a note, middle finger on the C, skip a note, pinky on the E. That's your 3rd chord. So, all together, it should sound like this. And we're gonna hit that A minor 3 times. One more time. Now the final part of this song is just the same formation, and all we're doing is sliding it over to the left. And then back to the right. One more time. Now that's really the whole song, verse-wise. Chorus a little bit different. We can cover that in another video, but to keep things easy, we're just gonna go over the intro. Now, left hand is super easy, and the easy way to explain left hand for a lot of songs is it's gonna follow what the root note is of your triad, which in your case would be whatever note your thumb is on. So when I put my left hand down, I'll play just with 1 finger for now. If you're just starting out, that's fine. If you wanna play octaves, that's usually how I play it. An octave is the same note, but 8 across. Now, all I'm doing here, now I'm playing it with my pinky, you can see, because I'm used to playing it in octaves, but if you want to use just 1 finger, you totally can. You are gonna start in a C, same note, root note, go to the D, and then bounce over to the A. So you're doing exactly what your thumb is doing in this hand is what you're doing with your left hand. So we'll go all together, here we go. Now, the hardest part might be timing and getting the 2 hands to work together. Now, that's going to come with practice. It might be a little robotic at first. When I started, I sounded like this. Right? So that will come, the flow will come, but it's really, with piano, is just learning the notes as you go. The flow comes. Great, so that's how you play the verse and intro to Stay by Rihanna. All right, the second song we're gonna go over is an REO Speedwagon song. Don't worry, if you're not an old school head, you'll probably recognize this one. Easy money. So I'm gonna teach you guys how to do that. Now, remember that same shape we did for the Rihanna song, that triad. We're gonna do the same thing, except our root note with our thumb is gonna be an F. Now an F is gonna be located, if you find the 3 black notes, the one to the bottom left of all 3, right here. Now, same triad, that's gonna be your first chord. Now for your left hand, put your either one finger or an octave, so put your thumb on an F over here, to the left of your hand. And this isn't going anywhere. So you can just plop your left hand down and just keep it there because it's gonna be hitting this note pretty much the whole time. Okay, cool. So all we're gonna do for this song with our right hand is keep this shape and we're just gonna move up and down. And here's how it'll go. Just remember, if it's too hard to remember where each one is, you're just sliding your hand. So it's going to be 2 on the F, 2 on the G, 1 on the A, back down to the G, back up to the A, back down. Now, if you need to rewind the video and slow it down to see that pattern, you can, but all I'm doing is moving my hand up and down. I'm not changing the position of my hand at all. It stays in that triad, and we're just playing those 3 chords. It's gonna be an F, a G, and an A minor chord. That is it. My left hand, like I said, is stationary on this F right here, and you'll play like this. Now, if it sounds a little bit robotic at first, like this, that's okay. Just remember the flow will come. Just get the pattern down first, and as you start playing it, it'll become a lot easier. But remember to try and relax your hands, keep your wrists relaxed, and really just let your hand flow, because then it'll be a lot easier. You see, being relaxed makes a big difference. But it's easy to tense up as you're learning. I totally get it. I did the same thing. If it gets frustrating, walk away for 10 minutes, come back, you'll be just fine. All right, on to the next one. All right, we've saved the hardest one for last. I'm just kidding, it's not hard at all. If you thought the other ones were pretty easy, you'll think this one's easy too. Same type of concept. This is gonna be a train song called Drops to Jupiter, if you've heard it. All right, don't freak out. It's a lot easier than it sounds, I promise. Now, basic thing is we just need 3 chords that we're gonna be learning with the right hand. The first one's gonna be a C chord, but it's a variation of the C chord. Now, we're not doing a triad here. It's a little bit different. And if your hand can't stretch like that, you can play like this or like this, whatever is easiest for you. Now, your thumb is gonna go on in G. And if you don't know where the G is, find the 3 black notes. It's gonna be the one to the bottom left of the middle one. Thumb here. Your either middle finger or pointer finger will be on a C. I'll use my pointer finger now because that's just easier for me. And your either pinky or ring finger will be on an E. And it'll look a little bit like that. So go ahead and pause, make sure your hand looks like my hand right now, or if that's easier for you, that's just fine. Now, the second chord we're gonna need to know is a G chord, which is your standard triad. And all I did here to make it easier was slide these 2 fingers over 1 note each, like that. And your third chord is just an F. So take this same triad, same shape, slide it all over 1 note each. Boom. Those 3 chords right there, you should be able to play this song. Now, we're gonna play it. A lot of this song comes down to more how you're playing it rhythmatically. So when I play, I'm bouncing. I'm gonna hit that F right there when I go over so. To your second chord, your G. You're hitting an E there, and then to the F. So I'll do that one more time. I know you're like, what note did you just hit over here? What was that? So I'll go over that real quick. So after this first chord, what you want to do is have your pinky. That's why I like to play it with this finger here, because I like hitting this note with my pinky. You don't really have to hit that note. They do it in the song, but you can get away without playing it. But all I'm doing is hitting it once in between shifting to the chord. Same thing here with the E, and then to your F. Now at the end I just do a little, but you don't have to do that at all. All I'm doing is little fancy stuff, but again, don't worry about that. It'll sound just fine without doing that. But if it sounds robotic at first, don't worry. That's totally normal. It's just how learning goes. Really just get the chords down. I would say to learn this song the best, most efficient way possible is learn those 3 chords. 1, 2, 3. And the rest all will come pretty easy. Now for the left hand, same as when we did the first song, Stay, it's just gonna follow the root note of the song. So your first chord's gonna be a C. Even though your thumb is hitting a G, this is a C chord, so that's the only weird one you have to remember. So your second note's gonna be, now I'm playing with one finger. If I were you, I would be playing octaves if you can reach, or with your thumb, just so if you wanna play octaves, you can. Or if you wanna do the actual chords, you can. But for now, since this is a beginner video, feel free to just use one finger if you want. I'll play with one finger so you can see what I'm doing. I'm hitting a C. I'm gonna go over to the G here. I'm playing a G chord. Remember, follow that root note. And then an F. So it's just 3 notes. You know, C, G, F, and you're done with your left hand. So at that point, it's just making sure they pair with the transitions. Now on those bounces, all I'm doing is just going back and forth with these 2 fingers and my thumb. So again, it's a little hard to do that slow because this song, it's tempo wise. Kind of have to go at my speed, but slow the video down, see what I'm doing, and then just learn those chords. The rest will come super easy. Start there and then rewatch, and you'll have that down in no time. I remember watching a video of this when I first learned, and at first it was a little bit complicated, but as soon as I got it, I was like, oh, that's a piece of cake. So that is Drops of Jupiter by Train. Great, so today we covered how to play Stay by Rihanna, how to play Keep On Loving You by REO Speedwagon, and how to play Drops of Jupiter by Train. Now, if it's a little bit hard for you still, don't worry. What we learned here today are great fundamentals for future songs, meaning there are a lot of things you can take from these to go ahead and play other pop songs. So if one of them's hard, I'd hone in on one, learn it the best you can, get it down, and then move on to the next one instead of trying to take on all 3 at the same time. It can get a little overwhelming, and I don't want you to get discouraged. So I would say start in the order that we learned here today, because they get increasingly a little bit harder for each one. But you can take those chords away, and for other songs, say you find another song that has a C, a D minor, and a G chord, and you're like, oh, I know those from Stay. So you can take those and use them for your future songs or future chord progressions you find on the internet. So that should definitely help. So if you learned something here today, please feel free to subscribe and like. That would help out a lot. And leave in the comments what you want to hear and learn for future videos. I'm super interested. Now, if you do need some basic piano information and you don't really know where to start and you need everything kind of all in one package, I do have a course called Hear and Play Piano, in which I teach everything from how to read the piano to how to play scales, chords, and tying it all together so you can play songs by ear. That's called Hear and Play Piano. You can check it out at hearandplaypiano.com. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching today. Feel free to like and subscribe again, and leave in the comments what you want to hear next. Again, my name is Danny, and thank you so much for watching.